Let's be real. When you hear the words union budget, you probably think of a dense, maybe even boring government document. But what if I told you it's actually a treasure map for your investments? Well, today, we're going to decode the 2026-27 union budget to find out exactly where the opportunities are hiding. So let's just cut through all the noise, right? The political jargon, the endless headlines. The real question we all want an answer to is, where is the money actually going? And more importantly, how can you position yourself to benefit? Let's uncover some of those opportunities that are hidden in plain sight. Okay, so let's dive right in. The best way to think about the budget is like a giant river of money, flowing from the government straight into different parts of the economy. Our goal today is pretty simple, actually. We're just going to identify the most powerful currents in that river, because that's where the biggest opportunities will be. We are going to follow the money. Now, before we jump into any specific sectors, we need to understand the engine that's driving this entire economic machine. And it all comes down to one simple word that every single investor should know: Capex. First things first, let's just try to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this. The government's total estimated spending is a staggering 53 lakh crore rupees. I mean, that is the entire pie that we are working with here. Okay, but this is where it gets really, really interesting for us as investors. Out of that massive total, this number you see right here, over 12 lakh crore, is the slice of the pie we need to laser focus on. This is what's known as capital expenditure, or Capex. And trust me, this is where the real investment story begins. So what is Capex in plain English? Well, it's not the money for day-to-day expenses. No, this is strategic investment in the country's future. This is the money being used to build the foundational assets, the roads, railways, and power grids that are going to fuel our economic growth for decades to come. So let's see where this powerful investment is headed. All right, first stop on our investment roadmap, the absolute backbone of the country, the Indian Railways. This sector is getting a massive injection of funds, and here's exactly why that should matter to you. Just take a look at these numbers. That top line item, over 52,000 crore rupees, is for something called rolling stock. Now, that's everything from brand new high-speed trains to the powerful engines that pull them. And then you have another 28,000 crore just for track renewal, which is basically like giving the entire railway network a complete facelift. This is a huge overhaul. So, what's the big takeaway for us? Well, this isn't about a single one-off purchase. This is creating a multi-year pipeline of orders for the companies that build and maintain our railways. And that means predictable, long-term revenue, which, let's be honest, is the holy grail for any serious investor. Okay, so that's railways. Let's move on to our next sector and see how this theme continues to build. We're talking about another major focus of this budget: roads and highways.
And yeah, if you thought the railway numbers were big, just look at this. We're talking about a combined investment of over 3 lakh crore rupees in our roads and highways. That is a colossal commitment to upgrading the very arteries of the nation's economy.
And this is where you can really see the ripple effect in action. I mean, think about it. Every single kilometer of a new highway needs tons of steel for bridges and rebar and mountains of cement for the road itself. This creates a massive, sustained demand for these core commodities, which is absolutely fantastic news for the companies that produce them. All right, on to our third and final sector on this roadmap, and it is the biggest one of them all when it comes to ministry allocation. Let's talk about defense. That's right. The Ministry of Defense has received one of the largest allocations in this entire budget, with a really clear focus on modernizing our armed forces and boosting domestic manufacturing. And when you look at where that money is actually going, the priority is obvious: building a modern, technologically advanced military. We're talking over 63,000 crore for state-of-the-art aircraft and nearly 25,000 crore to build out a world-class naval fleet. Now, the key insight here is that this benefits way more than just the giant defense contractors. When a new fighter jet is built, it takes a whole ecosystem of smaller, specialized firms that provide everything from the avionics and landing gear to the complex software that runs the entire system. This is a huge opportunity for high-tech manufacturing. Okay, so we've navigated through railways, roads, and defense. Now, let's pull all of this together and land on the single most important takeaway from our journey today. Here's the bottom line. The government's budget is so much more than just a set of numbers. It's a powerful tool that you can use to identify long-term investment trends. By following the flow of capital expenditure, by following the money, you get a clear view of which sectors are poised for serious growth, not just for the next quarter, but for years to come. So now you have the roadmap. The real question is, which path are you going to choose? Which of these opportunities aligns with your own investment goals? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.